Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Ephemeral One, and this is Welcome to the B.O.M.B. Back on my bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be talking about the Soulsborne lore. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will be picking apart the lore, talking about the story, the characters, and how things piece together. I know. Such a novel concept. It's not like there's a plethora of videos on the YouTube already about talking about this, usually with a British man talking very, very slowly. Anyway. Sorry, folks. I've been looking forward to doing this for a long time. I held back for a year, okay? I held back from a year from making these videos and talking about the story, because there is so much to Elden Ring that I just absolutely had to get it out of my system. So, without further ado, let's get to it. I'll be starting with a video today where normally I would jump straight into the game itself. However, there is so much packed into the opening cinematic, I'm going to need to start, which I will be using thanks to Rajman Gaming HD, the 4K version, to try and pick this apart to help you guys understand what we're seeing. Because there's so much to Elden Ring. There's so much of its world, and then consequently, the world that is built around it. So, without further ado, let's get to it. So, boom. Today, yeah, okay, you can see it. The fallen leaves tell a story. Picking that apart, it's quite literally. We will see the Elden... I'm not going to treat this as a mysterious thing and build it up over time. There's no way to do that. You have to talk about things as they come. So, that being said, what I fully plan to do is just talk about the story overall. So for this sequence right here, this initial scene, the first thing we are introduced to is someone hammering on an altar. The fallen leaves tell us... Oh, okay. Screwed up my previous scaling. Scale the window. Well, just zoom it in a little more. Okay. There, that should be good. The fallen leaves tell a story. Now, the first thing we see is the character we will come to know as Marika, the Queen, the Eternal Queen Marika. I'm not going to treat this as if you don't know the game. If you don't, unfortunately this won't be for you, but hopefully me picking this stuff apart will help you out. What is interesting is it's clearly Marika. I say that because from the position of the body, it has the more feminine shape. The chest is more protruding, so this is obviously Marika. Yeah. So, from there, we'll let it go. Okay, and again, let's go back. The Elden Ring was shattered. The hammer here, we can see, we don't know what we're seeing, but we're seeing that someone's striking something. More specifically, what eventually you'll discover is that it is the image of the Elden Ring. I guess you would call it the control mechanism of it. Okay. And that is the first part that made my ears perk up the first time I played this a year ago. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. This is a huge statement because at the end of the day, this place is extremely significant. This description. Okay? In our home, across the fog, the lands between. First off, it's across the fog. Where else did we see fog become a major issue? That's right, demon souls. So, yes, I truly believe that this game is the game that ties every other Soulsborne title together, with the exception of Sekiro. But that's because Sekiro is basically them making a samurai movie with everything they could throw in it. So that's also because Sekiro was set in an actual historical setting. It's not anywhere. It's nowhere near to correct to depicting the historical setting, but it is based on a historical setting of our world. Whereas this is something else. The lands between. That will become far more relevant down the line, but I wanted to note that these are the lands between. For those who may have forgotten, we come here a second time. We come here a much, much later point in the series. Do you remember where? Dark Souls 2. Just keep that in mind. In this statement, we have tied ourselves to the fog of dark, that the colorless fog of Demon Souls and Dark Souls 2's lands between. Are they the same lands? There's proof for it and not. We'll come to that later, though. Let's continue. Here's something a lot of people I haven't seen really pick apart. Marika's style of dress. Now, the pose she's in is obviously one of being restrained. We never see her face. Like, she's downcast the entire time. We have yet to truly see her face. You notice the bracelets she wears. More importantly, look at the design on the dress she wears. It's almost like tree branches, which would be on a dark sky, which would be indicative of several things. First of all, the Erd tree, which we will come to see, which we saw in the previous sequence. In here, that bright light rising above is the Erd tree. We can see the branches extending in every direction. We can see, it almost looks like stars though, doesn't it? The same thing with her dress. Again, the same motif. Bright golden lights on a background of black. Kind of like stars. Alright, just keep that in mind. We'll get into a lot more about the Knight of Black Knives, but for the instinctive first thing you need to know about it is, first off, this was a coordinated attack. This was something, a plan someone put into motion. This was not a rebellion. This was not just a group of like minded individuals. This was a purposeful, chosen target. I wanted that clear from the start. Okay. And Godwin the Golden was the first to fall. Okay. This is something else. First one we get introduced to, the next person we see is someone we will come to know. But I want you to know that they are linked instinctively, automatically. Godwin and this character, Ronnie the Witch. You'll see how and why later, and we'll get more into it. But I just want you to know this is, like I said, there is so much to unpack here. I love what they did with this game because it fills in and still raises more questions. Anyway. Here, this image. Take a look at what we're seeing. For those of us who know these characters, it's interesting. The red hair indicates actually Radagon's family. The staff. Piecing together what we're looking at is not simple. Because. Okay, because simply put, the hands on it. I would love to say that these arms. Wish I could get this to go away. Like. The arms. Wish I could. I can't see what you guys are seeing now. Okay. The arms that are holding, it seems like there's a few too many. Like these upper arms are. This would be a character Morgoth, who would be here. This would have. These top ones would be his arms. I guess, based on the positioning, the second person's arms are gripping the staff at the bottom. This part, I can't. There's no point to really talk about this beyond this moment. And I really want to call this image the redressing of Radon, who had started to show. Yeah, soon Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. I want to believe this is a point where Radon was basically scolded by Morgoth for acting in greed to claiming the shards, the control that broke off the Elden Ring, the methods of control. And that this is where Radon was basically shown up. The problem I have with this image is this left side arm. Like, if the arm on the bottom left, it's not attached. Like, it looks like it's attached to something else. Perhaps, because what it looks like is it's a second arm grafted onto Morgoth. But as far as I'm aware, Morgoth doesn't have any second arms. Um, Pretty sure. Like, just Morgoth, the Omen King. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, he only has two arms. So I'm not entirely sure, like, who or what this arm belongs to. But it's definitely from the helm and the hair. I want to believe that's Radon. So this would be where he's essentially forcing Radon out, because the because Radon is known as General Radon, so it makes sense that they're surrounded by soldiers. What I'm not entirely sure of is who or what is supposed to be protecting him, trying to resist, because this strikes me as someone trying to hold the staff back. But it may be, hmm, well, maybe he does have a second pair of arms we just never see that were grafted on. But I don't believe this is a major upset so much as Morgoth basically scolding Radon into fulfilling his duties to the Golden Order. So I wanted that said now. This image. The last one was the image of Morgoth. This is the image of Morgwyn, his twin brother. Hmm. Holding the arm of Mikola, one of the fellow demigods. Cradling. This one was cursed with eternal youth. Hmm. But as we know, very few things are actually eternal. They are simply long lived, perhaps. But nothing is absolutely eternal. Hmm. I'm just trying to get a good design idea because we'll get to it eventually, but this is Mogwyn stealing Mikola from where they were. There's almost no background to this, aside from this right side where the coloring is very light and bright, and we'll see this later on. But this will probably be the artificial womb inside the hailing tree. Huh, okay. But this is about the mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. We'll get to this unfortunate son of a bitch later. But, yeah. Right card. Hmm. Yeah. Now let that sink in. Because up until now, We've only had splashes of otherworldly power or outside influences. Most of Dark Souls was supposed to be quite responsive towards these people are doing these to themselves, or this person chose to become a monster, or made choices that led to this. This time, there is outside influences directly into the narrative. Just understand that, folks. There is a lot at stake, and even more so, there's a lot going on. This is a good point. Arise now, ye tarnished. And we see, much like previous Souls games, countless corpses arrayed and just left, eventually looking to rise again to challenge the mighty powers. Yeah, we'll see the term later, but when they say that the first Elden Lord is hounded from the lands, they're not talking by just people bad talking him. He was hunted, abused, beaten, stabbed, killed, and had to kill Horaloo. They do not call him the first Elden Lord. They simply he has simply regressed to his original title. Remember that. Also, note the golden color. Here, the single sprite of light next to him. You'll see it with each and every one of them. This is that gold light. Note, they're talking about tarnished. They're not talking about the bosses, the demigods. They're talking about your competitors, your fellows in comrades in arms, your enemies, your allies, your rivals. Everyone who has a stake in reclaiming and moving forward from the Golden Order. Note that. Now, that's an interesting point. Whom grace would again bless. So again, we are someone who has died and come back to start all over. I don't go into his detail for the images for our rivals here or the other companions we'll meet, but the idea is just because each of them has their own motivation. The ever brilliant Gold Mask. Hmm. His introduction being him searching for something in the dark. Thea, the deathbed companion. We shall come to know her as well. The ever loathsome Dung Eater. And of course, Gideon O'Finney, the all knowing. Note that in his case, he is the only one actually buried in a grave. So his time has come, passed, and he is coming around again, just like us. So that is just something to realize. He is not. He has the advantage of being ancient in the wicked in the ways. So, with that, I think we've finally caught up to everything I wanted to say. So, without further ado, let's get to the game. So, let's see. Just gotta switch this over. Okay. Alright. Okay. Sure you can hear that in the background as I switch it over. And there we go. Elden Ring. So, I'm going to turn this off. And let me know if you guys can hear it, can't. Because what I intend to do then is just do this so the volume doesn't, so you aren't getting double volume. Alright. So we should be good there. Alright, folks. Alright. So, let's get into it. There's plenty to talk about, plenty to see, and plenty more to do. Just move my mic so it's a little nicer than me. Hope you guys can still hear me alright. Let me know if anything's gone wrong. Just making sure the video game volume is there. And it's looking good. Alright. So, Elden Ring. I have not played this in several months, so forgive me if I'm a little rusty. We will be beginning, of course, from scratch. Let's see. Professor, prisoner, samurai, prophet, astrologer, bandit, hero, vet, warrior, vagabond. If you're curious what they actually all mean, so vagabonds start at probably the highest level, but they're more melee focused. Same, offensively focused is with dexterity is the warrior. Heroes are more strength focused. Bandits obviously dexterity and maneuverability, but have a interest in the arcane, which can come in handy. Astrologers are your magic casters. Faith based are your prophets. Samurais, of course, bow, sword, and shield, but heavy dexterity focus. Your prisoners have basically just good all around, aside from faith and arcane. Um, Confessors are, your more offensively minded holies, and then wretch, which is just nothing. Personally, I think for starting off, hmm, well, if I was going to base it on a character, I guess I would base it on the child beloved of sky and earth and sky, the mountain and sky. So, in that case, nah, I guess for her it would be, hmm, who's got? I always love that the casters are always balanced one way or the other. You know what? Well, just for the sake of simplicity and survival, we'll start off with Vagabond. Type A, type B, type B. Child, beloved. Ooh. Okay, you guys can see the whole thing. Huh. No, it's just funny because I'm working on a new TV. Picture size settings. Oh, there we go. No, that's good. Okay. It was just it was just off screen to me and it was just kind of funny. Anyway, child beloved of sky and mountain. All right. Type B, age. We'll make her mature. Origin vagabond. Knight exiled from their homeland. Wanders solid clad armor. A nomad warrior fights wielding two blades at once, an origin of exceptional technique. A stalwart hero at home with a battle axe descended from a Badlands chieftain. Well, there's your first connection back to the lore. That's Horalu. A dangerous bandit who strikes for weak points, excels at ranged combat with bows. A scholar who reads the fate in the stars. That will be a key story point later. A seer ostracized for inauspicious prophecies, well versed in healing incantations. A capable fighter from the distant land of reeds, handy with katana and longbows. A prisoner bound in an iron mask, studied in glintstone sorcery, having lived among the elite prior to sentencing. Actually, that would probably fit her more in considering her fate. Confessor, a church spy adept at covert operations, equally adept with a sword as they are with the incantations. So, yeah, you know what? We'll make her a prisoner, because that makes the most sense. Keepsake. No keepsake. The past has well and truly been left behind. A Crimson Amber. Yeah, medallion inlaid with Crimson Amber increases maximum HP. The gold grace is shining in the eyes of people of the lands between, used to gain many runes. Golden seed washed ashore from the lands between, said to enhance sacred flasks. This is one thing to note about these seeds. They're scattering. They're fading away, carried by wind and water, as trees do in nature. Fanged imp ashes. These ashes of small diminutive golems' ashes are said to hold spirits within. These strange cracked pots are somehow mend themselves a container for certain thrown items. It can come in handy. Stone sword key. Two stone keys shaped like swords breaks on the seal on imp statues, but can only be used once. Five sacred branches charged, yeah, with beguiling power, said to originate from the demigod Michaela. Again, now we're back into the lore. Michaela, one of the demigods. Boiled prawn. 5 pieces of boiled prawn boost physical damage negation. Or Shabiri's woe. The crazed likeness of a noble whose eyes have been gouged out. Attracts enemy's aggression. So, basically making the game harder on yourself. For what we're doing, we'll just go with the medallion. It's something basic, but it helps you survive a little more. Choose base template. Most common faced among the Tarj, after all, they were all warriors once. Truth Seeker, the face of an austere pilgrim. There are many roads to truth. An aristocrat, a regal face found among those who claim noble blood in the lands between. Face found among a proud and seclusive tribe of folk well versed in ancient legends and heresies alike. A face found among the hardy people of the unforgiving north. Some say they're descended from giants. So, to the north, there are giants. Good to know for what to expect. The face of one who wanders the seas in search of their home in the lands between. A face from faraway isolated land of reeds, where blood is a familiar sight. Said to be in constant civil war, actually, we'll find out later. Draconian, the stony people of the ancient dragons, among whom life is typically short. Now, this is an interesting one. People said to be descended from dragons, and whose life is typically short. Is it because of others, or is it because of themselves, one has to wonder. But interestingly, the other description is stony-faced. Where else do we hear of dragons and stone being one and the same? Dark Souls 1, where arch trees and dragons with scales of stone. Nightfolk, the features of those known as Nightfolk. Few in number, they were said to bleed silver long ago. We'll meet these people later, and I imagine if we could take their clothes off and see their faces, they would look something like this in one particular area. And bleeding silver, well, that will come later. And the Newman, supposed to be descendants of denizens of another world, long lived but seldom born. So supposedly the Newman came from another land, another world entirely. Not just another land, but another world. So that becomes a kind of interesting dichotomy. If they came from another world, how did they get here? Or what was to happen to their world? I have my theories, but we'll leave that for another time. Because I believe 2 and 3 give us quite the answer to that. And why we know. Though, if we're going to pick from a child beloved, it would be a tribe of folk well versed in ancient legends and heresies alike. Mature, yeah. Nah, we'll just do mature voice too. Skin color for her would probably be a little lighter. That should be fine. Alter face and hair. Face templates. Face structure's fine. Hair I would like. to change just a bit. Something a little shorter. Yeah. And hair color. Be a more auburn. That should be fine. And the other thing is the color of the eyes. Would be yeah, that works. Okay. I'm satisfied with this. I'm not going to go crazy with this. Alter body, don't really need to. We're not going to see it much. We're going to be wearing clothing, so sorry, this isn't going to be a nude run. Okay, so that works. Yep, I like it. This is for the child beloved of sky and mountain. If you're interested about the character, I do have the story up on my website, so feel free to reach that. But now let's get back into Elden Ring's story. I've and the reason I did this opening to the stream that I did is because I want to just let this play out.
Tell a story. The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask. Fear, the deathbed companion. The loathsome dung-eater. And Sir Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing. And one other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown. across the fog to the lands between. To stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord.
Alright. So we learn. So the game begins. We start somewhere where we obviously died. We learn the ring. And more interestingly, what is here? A statue of a feminine figure extending their hand, directing us to go on, or perhaps reaching out to offer a hand of mercy. As far as our equipment goes, yes, we have an S-Stock. Alright, you have to go into inventory to get the... Yep. So what we have is a memory of grace. The memory of first grace, which once guided bygone tarnish to the lands between. You lose all runes, and you return to the last site of grace visited. It is merely a cycle. Stand before the Elden Ring, become the Elden Lord. That is all the guidance that you are given. Stand before the Elden Ring, become the Elden Lord. That's it. That is all this item tells you to do. That is your main motivating drive. The same as every Souls game. All of them have given you a drive. We have Magic Glint Blade. An old sorcery of the Carrion royal family creates a sigil overhead from which an enemy-seeking glint blade appears after a brief delay. The sorcery can be used while in motion. Charging increases the delay. Said to be the prototype of the sword phalanx sorceries wielded by the Royal Enchanted Knights. And indeed, we also have an S-Stock, a large piercing sword with a long, hard-bladed edge, which also is capable of slashing attacks. For its larger size, it can be wielded rather nimbly, leaving little opportunity for the enemy to counter. Its skill is Impaling Thrust, skill that lets piercing armaments overcome enemy shields. Build power, then lunge forward with a strong thrust that pierces the enemy's guard. Then we have a Glintstone Staff, a staff with a glintstone embedded in the tip, catalyst for casting sorceries. Sorceries must be memorized at first at the site of Lost Grace, and a staff that must be equipped to cast them. It has no skill. Rift Shield, a small metal round shield with depicting a sinister rift. An antiquated charm that glares back at an enemy. It boosts focus. It has the skill of Parry that lets you use a skill in time with a foe's melee attack to deflect it and break that foe's stance. This provides an opening to perform a critical hit. What's interesting is this item is the sign of a prisoner is given. Means the eye depicting it is the Eye of Chaos. The Iron Mask forced on the prisoner convicted of an appalling crime. Thick, heavy, and utterly stifling. A foul creation designed to torment the wearer, either slowly fermenting hatred within their heart, or a spiritual fervor that is near indistinguishable from it. Tattered clothing, worn by a prisoner convicted of an appalling crime. Never once washed, every fiber is filthy. The smell is beyond belief. And a medallion with crimson amber inlaid boosts your maximum HP. The Erd tree's old sap becomes amber, treasured as the most precious of jewels in the age of Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. A primordial life energy resides inside. So, I think that's about, yep, and that's it. Lets you see your status, runes held, runes needed to level, your stats, all the basics. Alright. So, we start, though it's worth noting, we start. People keep killing themselves here just so it looks like a big bloody pile. Tarnished wizened finger. Used to write messages to send to other worlds. Yeah, how you communicate with others, basically. One of the interesting things, though, is you start in Storm, in the hold of the Storm Lord. The journey begins. Fallen leaves tell a tale. The Chapel of Anticipation. More than likely, from what we can gather since we start here, there's a simple truth that we were one of the soldiers of the Storm King. We'll see that he fell long ago, but we are one of his vassals more than likely. Or someone who lived under him. Or maybe a warrior of his, who knows, who was punished after after our Lord fell. But what's interesting is the death of this Erd tree. Fallen leaves, and it has been a long time falling. Something that big doesn't die quickly. Regardless, there's nowhere else we can go this way. As far as I can tell. Yeah, test out our blade. Let me guess, it's no item ahead. Yeah. But yeah. There's not much here. There are plenty of places to fall off. There's plenty of nothing to see. I'm mostly exploring just to get you an idea. Though, one addition to any Dark Souls game that was kind of odd at first to me was the addition of this compass above our head. Okay, across the bridge. And there's this big building here, but there's no entrance, at least not to the front. Nor to the side. Nor to the back. There is no entrance. So then, what possible use could it be? There's just a statue on it. Or it looks more like there was a statue on it. It's broken now. One may wonder, is this the former rule? Now broken in place of the statue that now rises up ahead. We don't know for sure, but that's understandable. That very likely that was a depiction, possibly of the former ruler. Now, what rules is this rule? Though it's interesting that the famed image we see of Marika is in that supposedly good. Okay. I forget how little health we have in the start. It's been a while. But it's also because you have. I didn't bother to take my shield out because pretty much you can win that, but it's not really worth it. Because no matter what, you're flung down here. If you win, there is a cliff that just breaks under your feet and you drop to your death. I'm just gonna spoil that for you now. There is literally no real big push.
Don't worry, Torrent. Fortune is on her side. We found her here after all. One of her kind is sure to seek the Elden Ring. Even if it does violate the Golden Order.
And we eventually waken. Now, that's one of those key points. They found us, Torrent. And, well, a flask of crimson tears. I assume they left that for us. And a flask of cerulean tears, both of which would allow us to heal and mend our wounds. As we can see here, there is something in the distance, but pardon me, I'm just going to go into settings real quick. Just because I'm worried that this is a little too dark. What am I thinking? Adjust brightness. Okay. I just worry that it's a little too dark so you guys can't see anything. Okay. Yeah, if you want to bring up your HUD. You know, actually, I'm going to have to actually adjust it on my TV too, because it is dim black. I know that. Okay. Oh, okay, it is. Okay, never mind. I thought it was just. Okay, so no, it's just the usual. Can't see a thing. Okay. But yeah. Alright. Jump down below and you'll find the Cave of Knowledge. There you can learn more about the game controls and basic actions, as well as other tips that may be helpful during. So, might as well do the tutorial. There's no reason not to. So, off we go. Use item, switch items. We took some damage on the fall, so we could justify it. Might as well. Sites of Grace. Resting on the side of Grace will restore all your stats, refill your sacred flask. However, most of the enemies you defeated will be revived. You can find Sites of Grace for going to light converges. Alright. Basic gameplay stuff, but there are lost grace locations that. So these are places where someone fell and whatever was basically gave up. This is where grace left them, where the urge tree decided you're not going to fulfill your journey. And that is where the grace remained until someone else could use it. Of course, first off pairing, then a critical hit. Reset camera, lock on. Make fun of the lock on all you want. They do make it relatively useful. Right hand attack. And of course we also have both magic. Yep, sorceries and incantations. You can switch it, but I only have the one at the moment. We can also guard, though note that our shield does cause some status effects. And I'm not great at parrying yet. I can block well enough. There we go, there's a parry. I believe you get a little more runes. It's not souls yet, it's runes. Okay. So having a ranged option from the beginning will always be in handy. In addition, there will be materials you can pick up. And you find fruits, flowers, mushrooms, and butterflies, all various useful materials. These materials can be used for crafting. Indeed, and you will want them. Because they can make your life infinitely easier. Each hand can be equipped with up to 3 armaments, allowing you to toggle between. And you can actually wield both. Yep. Nice. And there is now a purpose for just blocking flat and counterattacking as well. There's a bunch of mechanics now that have been implemented that really vary up the combat. It can give you all sorts of methods to break open opponents' defenses. Yep, use the right stick to switch your target. But generally speaking, just pick one and keep going. Your ideal is to always be aiming for one-on-one duels. Just to be clear. That it will be your bread and butter is surviving, is one-on-one duels. So be aware and look for ambushes. They're everywhere. Alright. Yeah, and if you have skills, but like for here, I can only access the skill for my right hand weapon, the lunge, if I wield it with both hands. Otherwise, L2 is your only skill button, and with the shield out, it's parry. But if I have my spell implement, yep, then L3 is your stealth mode. and gets you right behind easily some troublesome enemies. It won't always be an option, but it can always come in handy when you least expect it. Because after all, getting an opportunity like that makes life simple. Strong foe ahead. Alright. And then while jumping, we have a jump attack and a charge attack now to try and break guards. Paralyze and deal critical hits. States of Marika. Upon dying, you will be revived at the last site of grace that you visited. However, if there is a stake of Marika near where you died, you can choose to be revived there instead. Now, again, one of the interesting things that keeps me coming, that I think a lot of people overlook, is the pose Marika's in. And the array, the way she is depicted. I cannot help but it is almost a submissive position she is in, as if she's being held back. And I truly do believe that Marika can be considered somewhat the villain of this game, no doubt. But I also think that her end goal, that the reason she went out of her way, is because she's aiming to break the control of the greater will. So, whether her villainy is justified is up to interpretation. So, and of course, the mist. Though it's interesting to note that it's golden in this, and gray in every other one. So our Soldier of Godric is our first opponent. Form a counterattack that we have. Blocking it from God comes make it easy to break an enemy's stance. Yep. Still nothing. What? Haven't gotten that bell yet, folks. But yeah. It's one of those things where there's certain aspects that we haven't gotten to go into that, then again, my personal take is that when we finally get the story DLC, because that's what I was kind of holding off from starting this game again, is I wanted to get strength. I wanted to get the story DLC under my belt so I got a fuller picture of what a story this game wants to tell. Because that is not quite so clear. Still, we've completed the tutorial, so now let's head out into a catacomb where bones are strewn and broken and laying about. And there's yet another lost grace site. What's more interesting, though, is here there's another imp statue where we could use a stone sword key to explore deeper into this catacomb, apparently. But as we don't have one, all we can do is move on. Furled finger to write gold summon sign to co-op, yep. Severed finger is to cut off multiplayer, just the usual. And in the Souls typical style, every elevator is just a button you stand on. So, off we go. ascend into the light proper. These candles have blue flames, which is either extremely hot or not normal fire. Gorgeous view ahead. Indeed. And lifting the gate. Welcome to Limgrave. Quite a view. Quite a place to be. And here we have something new. The brighter the light with like the red, a more critical item it is. In each area you may find effigies of martyrs. These effigies are summoning pools. You'll find it easy to summon other players at these locations as co-op, and hostile summoning signs created with small effigies gather at summoning pools. Basically, this is where how you can more easily find people to play, to go with. More Roa fruit. And another lost grace. Note that it is shedding. Grace exists to guide the tarnished and lead them along the proper path. Even now, some sites of grace retain that power. The golden rays will guide you along your way. So according to the Erd tree, we need to go that way. That is all it's saying. Note its color. It's gold. And use your map to check your position, terrain, and structures. You can also use the map to freely place beacons of light to serve as landmarks. In addition, we also met...
Oh, yes. Tarnished, are we? Come to the lands between for the Elden Ring? Of course you have. No shame in it. Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless. Without guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the Round Table Hold, you are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity.
Perhaps.
Luckily for you, however, there is one shining ray of hope for even the maidenless. Me. Vare. Take care to listen. Are you familiar with grace? The golden light that gives life to you tarnished. You may also behold its golden rays, pointing in a particular direction at times. That is the guidance of grace, a path that a tarnished must travel. Indeed. Grace's guidance holds the answers. It will lead you tarnished to the path you are meant to follow, even if it leads you to your grave.
I just climbed out of my grave, so I doubt it wants me to go back in so swiftly.
Grace's guidance to Castle Stormvale, over on the cliff, the home of the decrepit demigod, Godric the Grafted.
Godric the... If we look, no, it actually isn't. If that's Stormvale Castle up on the cliff, no. It's aimed somewhere else entirely. It's aimed straight ahead. In the path of that unfortunate night. Yeah, back to square one in Elden Ring. Well, might as well show off that this is in fact a Souls game. And more importantly, this is an open world Souls game. People joke that they might not know what an open world is. I think they did fairly well. But where do we fly? Because here we go. just had to show off, yes, this is a Souls game. No, you will not be able to take everything you see immediately. Upon dying, you will be revived at the last site of grace that you visited. You'll drop in your runes in procession at the site of your death. If you die again before claiming those runes, they will be lost forever. The compass at the top of the screen indicates the direction of the lost runes. Yeah, I just had to show that off. That yes, and remind you all, these games are difficult. These games are not kind at times, and these games are still immensely fun. So, let's get to exploring. Because we are in Limgrave, the first area of the game. There's much to explore. Waters, beach below. Very below. Oi. Oh yeah. Kind of feels nice to be back at the start though. By the way, yes. The animals can be killed. They are mostly for various resources. Make no mistake, though, folks. There are plenty of There are plenty of great animals that will be just as happy to kill you as well. Yep. So we have a lake here to our east. Yep. We have a lake here to our east. That's where we lost our... That's the Cave of Knowledge, the Stranded, and the First Step. Where we know White Mask Bears. So we could head down into this swamp. But everyone always complains about, oh, Dark Souls has too many swamps. So you know what? No, I won't go to the swamp immediately. Pick it up. Eh, missed the bird. Oh, I got that one. Yep, Light Pinion and Four-Toed Fowl. Four-Fowl Foot. More earthly flowers. These little scamps. Alright. A skull. General note, if a skull is glowing, smash it. There'll be easier methods to do that later, but yeah, go ahead, smash it. You have nothing to lose by doing so. Okay. So now, if he's going that way, we can probably sneak up and get our runes back. He doesn't control a huge area, but just enough so I should be able to sneak through. But what's he protecting might be the other question. Another martyr with reduced dropping runes. And the Church of Elden. Oh, it's occupied. Through your map, you can instantly travel to any sites of grace you've discovered. However, there are some dungeons and other areas where this cannot be done. In other words, this grace is limited to basically the overmap. You can get to some very out-of-the-way places, but some places you're just going to need to get there on foot. Hello?
You're tarnished. I can see
Yeah.
it. And I can also see that you're not after my
Why would I
throat.
be?
Then why not purchase a little something? I am Kale, purveyor of fine goods.
Why would I be after your throat, Kale? I don't know you.
I am of a
Okay.
nomadic people, selling wares as I travel. The land has been tainted by madness
sense.
since the shattering of the Elden Ring. It's only tarnished like yourself, who keep things from drying up entirely. Let's say you're a very welcome customer.
Alright. Do you have any recommendations?
You know, if you can spare the runes, you should buy yourself a crafting kit. A crafting kit allows you to make basic
Indeed.
items on your own. Essential, really, if you intend to survive out here for any duration. The kit costs a bundle, and I admit I do take my cut. But the important thing is that you survive. Every customer counts,
Well, that's
after
good to
all.
know. So, let's see. Purchase various items. Where did he say crafting kit? Ah. Enables the practice of item crafting. Leather bag containing a pestle, mortar, small blade, and various other tools. Enables the crafting of items from the main menu. Provides both the means to fight and the means to survive. Because those two things are separate. So, we'll pick that up. Now we don't... Then we'll start to be able to make record of techniques left by Roman nomad warriors. Contains the knowledge for surviving in the face of utter scarcity. Or a record of crafting techniques left by a man who, unable to become a finger maiden, instead became a missionary and went forth to spread holy teachings. He teaches us how to make a holy water pot and a roped holy water pot. This is also something we should probably get our hands on, a torch. Wrapped in oil soaked rags and set on fire, the flames can illuminate dark locales or be used to attack enemies. Yep. Don't underestimate it. A note sold by the mag contains information about the Flask of Wondrous Visit. Further details are available only to paying customers and the waypoint rules. Well, we don't have anything.
I'm glad you took my... You've made an excellent...
If you have a crafting kit, you can make various items. Select that and craft it, and you'll find the items by making... You'll not be able to make more of those items. Then you have containers. Containers will run out with use, but containers themselves will remain. So, item crafting. Materials that you find, you can learn to craft more items by finding cookbooks. So like for here, Roa fruit creates feed to torrent to restore HP. We'll get to that in a moment when we get to him. And reveals co-op and hostile summoning sides to let us effectively see them more clearly. In addition, there's a smithing table. So we get a smithing stone. Now, used in a variety of armaments, a shard found in plenty. Stone used to smith for it. Strengthens armaments up to +3. A smithing stone is found throughout the lands between, and mining galleries built to excavate it can be found everywhere. Take a closer look at it if you can. You'll note the golden light that's upon it. It's obviously some part of small capacity of the Elden Ring. It's a small fragment of something greater. These stones are used to improve your weapons, though. Strengthen armaments. But you need runes to do so. So in this case, we'll leave it be for now. But we have it. So, we can continue our journey. And we saw it's telling us now to go that way, through the forest. But that's the thing. That's what Grace wants us to do. We haven't come far, but it is worth noting. Let's take a look at where we started. Is this sort of almost temple location? A crypt, perhaps? But look what's atop it. The statue of a figure carrying someone in their arms. Depicting, I would assume, someone lost. And what's interesting is all these similar images to Marika are all trapped and tied up here. One would have to wonder, is this a form of worship or punishment? Or is that indistinguishable between the two? Looks like we found one of these earlier, and I forgot there was one this early. We'll just head up here for the moment. This is a special type of statue. Guide and gatekeeper for those returning to the roots. This will tell you how to get to a catacomb. So straight ahead. But there's much more to explore. That's the way. This is the way Grace wanted us to go, to the east here. But this is telling us there's something straight ahead further this way. So, why not take a look? And we found a Trina's Lily. We'll look at the items a little later. For now, I just want us to get lost in exploring and understanding where we are and what we can find. Because, trust me folks, there is a lot to see in this game. So much. All sorts of materials. Ruined fragments. Now, what's interesting is, where did this come from? Was it a tower sitting up somewhere? It would seem so, but this seems like the bottom of it. Or rather the top, but where would it have fallen from? In fact, it's a good question. Another one would be to look out over the water here. And there are ships collapsed out there. Like they said, you had to go through the fog to find the lands between. And that fog is dangerous. The little scamps still running around. I believe that's their official name, like scamps or vermin or something like that. But if we follow the directions given to us, we come up to a wall, but also another location. Weak foe. Catacombs. A place of rest. The Stormfoot Catacombs. Makes sense. It's at the foot of the storm. Stormfront Castle. Here we see someone with something chained around their neck. So that is something to note. A true death is returning to the Erd Tree, body and soul. The roots will come for you. What's interesting about this ghost, though, it seems his body's been taken, but not his soul. Which is odd, but then there's these ghostly mushrooms slowly creeping up. So what could that mean? Now, catacombs have their own set of specific enemies. Alright, let's get to it. Yep, there it is. They love ambushes, so yeah. Be prepared for that. Yep. Nobody's business. They also back off quick. They're nimble. Using a melee weapon like this to fight them is not ideal. But you'll get used to it. Ruthless. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people's first encounter with them, they're not prepared. Because yeah, these guys are ambush fighters. They're going to ambush you at every juncture they can. Okay. This grave glowworm. But yeah, here we can see these keepers keeping a door locked by some contraption. Yeah, that's the basic way these catacombs work, is you need to find the switch, which in this case is right over there. But it's not so simple to get to. Just take your time. Like I said before, your best bet is to always aim for one-on-one. The more enemies you can just take out simply, the easier your life is going to be. Little by little. Feel free to click in the stick to just art. If you're not sure if there's an enemy there, just click in the stick. Because sometimes the lock-on can be better than you. Alright, and that is the last of my MP. So I'm down to drink. Grave violets, or grave glowwort. Okay. Where am I? There's another ambush here. There it is. So, this is not instant death, but it is close enough that it will kill you pretty quickly. So you have to just time your run at it, and roll. Ah. If you time it right, it doesn't kill you, it just... But yeah, folks, the upside is... Now, here's the nice part. Not every enemy is automatically active. Like, I can walk past those two over there and just come over here. little too far for that. But remember, you start with all your resources. So the upside is I can just stand here and do it in 5 fewer enemies. I know the area a little better, and then you pick everything off. Plus, this way, we basically allow enable ourselves to come back with more resources. And we'll have more room, even more room by the time we get out. Because essentially what you have to do is run down this hallway. Okay, if I didn't. Because the fire, the trick is you have to hold in this little space where the 2 flames go. So you have a choice then. You can try running towards that one to do the same, or get this. You can lower it. Traveling gate says hello. Yeah, you can reduce the amount of trouble you have. In fact, if you have a bow and arrow, you can actually hit them and reduce the threat to almost nothing. But as I don't, I'm a magic caster. Yeah, I'm struggling with this. Oh wow, I survived that? That's rare. Now, you can see that there's some gold, more than gold is hiding on the map wall. So if I go there to turn this off, I'm going to the edge. However, there is this option here. And yes, if you hold circle, there is a faster climb. And I can see that that was the obvious goal. Guarding the statue. Ooh. Yep. Caught off guard and managed to get there. Okay, only got one more heal left, so gotta be careful. Yeah, I thought I saw something move. Yeah, just throwing daggers. But it's only got like a 1-handed sickle, so. Yep. Yeah, and that's why it's happy to throw sticks at me, because it wants to pull me into the trap of this one. That one's going to swing this one backwards. Yeah. Cool. There we go. I don't see any others. This was for summoning spirits. With a spirit calling bell, you can also summon various spirits. Summoning typically consumes FP. You can only summon one type of spirit at a time. You cannot summon spirits during multiplayer. Oi. Yeah. Getting into the summon spirits. The reason you go into catacombs is because these summon spirits are extraordinarily useful. Alright. seemingly, there was no point to coming up here because if you go straight, there's nothing here. However, if we come down here... Ah, Fort Hatchet already. What we actually came here for was where we knocked all these enemies off, was this switch, which allows us to open a door. Specifically the one at the beginning. So, now, typically speaking, the boss door is right towards the beginning, so you can go back to the grace, heal up, get your rebut, get everything set, and you should be largely able to do so without causing any real major fights. They're just designed that way just for, you know, player sanity. And since we're here, let's take a look at that forked. Just doing the equipment. Yeah. It's almost the same. It's got less scaling, but it does cause bleeding. A peculiar hatchet which is wielded by imps. The gently undulating forked blade is known as the imp's tongue and causes blood loss. Its skill is quick-step, though. A skill prized by crafty and fleet of foot. Perform a quick-step maneuver that allows for circling around locked-on targets. That could come in handy. And it is lighter, but those enemies around here are made of stone. I don't think causing bleed really matters here. In fact, it's a good question of, well, it's a good point that these stone beings are all wielding these weapons that cause bleed. Alright, so let's see what we get. Our first boss is the Erdtree Burial Monster. This kind of enemy would sure suck if you're a melee up. Their jerky movement is unnatural as all comes out. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, it sure does suck. It's not like I did a melee focus build the first time. These things suck. There's just no way around. No one likes fighting. They're awkward as hell. The best bet is to get them stuck on the pillars. Okay, now we gotta do it the hard way. Noble sorcery. So, Erdtree Burial. These roots are supposedly connected to the Erdtree, and those who have died are being reabsorbed by it, pulled back into the main tree, being devoured. So how... Behold, corpse, yeah. So how good of a thing is the Erdtree? One has to wonder. And the ashes we killed. There was the wandering noble. The spirits of nobles who, after death, now wander the lands between. Surely they were in search of something once, but whatever it was is but long forgotten. And the spirit of noblemen who once asked to be given a place at Raya Lucaria to learn glintstone sorceries. His talents were insufficient to be worthy of donning the stone crown, However, he is only capable of using the most rudimentary sorcery. So we've gotten some failures who never really amounted to much. But maybe we'll be able to make them useful in our journey. Alright. So back to the entrance, because just to show you, while we're in here... Okay, we're not further. While you're in there, normally you can't teleport. But we can, because we're so close to the entrance. And the church, back to the church. Hello.
Wait, weren't you... Well, you're back. Care to buy something?
Of course, that's why I came back. A telescope would be useful. A full-on leather shield would be better than our current one. Oh, I know. For the type of playthrough I'm planning to do focused on lore, yeah, telescope was going to be mandatory. Let's see. Could get the chain set because that is a little heavier, but it is a little good. It is good protection. But for now, we'll pick up some of the cookbooks. Cookbook. Okay. We'll buy the hints. Because I know I want hints. Yeah, won't do the expensive cookbook, do the cheaper ones. So that way we have access.
Goodbye.
Nice to do business indeed. So now, crafting we can also make invigorating cured meat. Temporarily boosts our robustness, so lets us basically take a little more damage. Yeah, both of them, whether it's a strip of white or... Because there's two different types of meat you can find out there. There's fire pot, which allows us to throw and things explode. Often carried by demi-human string. Thin beast bones allows to make bone darts. You can make rainbow stones that shine in colored light when placed, serving as a guide, trying to help you retrace your steps. You do kissed herba. Yep. And emits faint light from the location it's placed. Then bone arrows. And fletched bone arrows. But yeah. More options are always a good thing. In addition, we'll spring pit. Oh, we require 2 smithing stones, I forgot. Okay, so we can't do that yet. By the way, let's see. So the Grace is still wanting us to go east. However, there was also that beach we saw. Surely it can't just be an empty place. Let's go take a look at that. We saw the beach down below. Perhaps there's something more we can see of it. And of course, I know this, like I said, if you see a glowing skull, just smash it. Golden Rune. Ruined fragments. There'll come a time when they'll be extraordinarily useful. By the way, I don't know what the deal is with the roller goats. I truly do not understand what causes, but it is just something they do. If they get too close, beast liver. There's all sorts of meats, and you'll see. But it is just one of those funny little quirks. Goats roll. I don't understand why, but they do. It's just a thing here in the lands between. Alright. Let's keep looking around, folks. there's an island out there. Seems like it'll be reachable at some point. But this path down here... Oh, something else we can do with inventory, actually, folks, is if we go into our inventory, we can assign... where is it? Oh no, wait, it's over here to our pouch. Switch to here. So, if I hold triangle and hit right, we pull out our telescope. Just a quick shortcut to give you a better idea. But yeah, there's all sorts of little conveniences in this game. Oh. Woke you up, man. Sorry. Here. Have this. Eventually. Wait, that didn't do much. Neither is this. Yeah, these guys are big. Luckily, there's at least that. Now, if you look in their chest, looks like there's a skeleton. Got better reach. It's interesting. It looks like something was in their chest that isn't there anymore. It's now just a stone tablet. Wonder what it could have been. I mean, really, these guys are huge. Part of their magic activity. Okay, listen. It's a 3-hit combo. I'm gonna keep circling. Which is a sign that these guys are used to fighting creatures much smaller. Ah, okay. And vanquishing enemy groups. If you finish off an entire group, guess what, folks? You get some of your stuff back. It's really nice. I do love that these giants are very clearly used to fighting smaller enemies. Unlike every other sort of giant enemy, these guys specifically know how to fight things smaller than themselves. And yes, you do get one back from both types when you get refilled. Generally speaking, your best friend in this game is staying calm. Because there's a lot of attacks that are counting on you panicking and running, and will whiff completely if you stay still. It's knowing which ones and knowing how to go. But that's part of learning the game. So, just understand that you don't have to be constantly panicking and running. Like that big 3-hit combo, part of it, the attack is just them circling you to make you anxious. And the second swipe is typically designed so that if you're running in the opposite direction, it's going to catch you pretty much no matter what, unless you perfectly time a dodge. Alright. Little ball. All the little effects, gods, this game. Even after a year, this game's still just all the hundreds of little effects and all the little things to it. Oh. We are not currently equipped to handle this, that is a creature, an invisible creature that is running around. Good luck catching it on foot. That's all I'll say. You can't lock onto it. And yeah, just it is what it is. It's one of those mysteries of the land between. They do run in a particular pattern, but yeah, you're not. They're usually fast enough you'll miss them anyway. Alright. Down to the shore, we have these shorebirds. I think we can walk up? Yeah, we can. We can kill them, but we don't need to. I love this dirty trick. Because this makes you, because of the Church of Ella, you think, oh, so I'm just going to run into characters at bonfires. Nope. Nah. He's a bandit. Yeah, these guys are rough. At least for your early on times. Dismount. Wow, got it on the first try. Kaiden. Wow, got a hell of a lucky drop on that one. Let's see. The Kaiden helm. It's heavier. Oh no, it's lighter. Okay. These hulking, fearless warriors, mercenaries, said to hail from the mountaintops of the wintry north, adept at fighting on horseback. Kaiden is the name of their home settlement. You know what? It's probably breathes better than our masks, so why not? What was it? Pants? Yeah. They're actually heavier than our pants. Their pants are heavier than our. Okay. Unsurprising, considering ours are just rags. Trousers worn by Kaiden sellswords. Yep. Enter north. Kaiden is the name of their home set. Why not? Get a little more protection. There, we got rid of the smell. Hopefully that get rid of the smell somewhat. But yeah, no, this is just a dirty trick the game uses to strip of white flesh. To mess with players. But yeah, the usual rules of the souls. You can't swim. What we can get here, though, is these smoldering butterflies. I'm gonna take a look at these, because these are... There they are. An eternally burning butterfly found near wildfires and elsewhere. Material used for crafting items serves as kindling for a number of items. There, got a nice new helmet. Like I said, that creature does serve... Oh, another glowing skull. Crack it. Those golden runes don't seem like much on their own, but they do add up over time. But yeah, the thing does avoid you completely. I've never been great at catching him, so for now we just leave it. Oi. And now we have one of the bigger denizens. Might as well show these off. You're gonna see plenty of these. Yeah, they're big, they're nasty. Pulling out the shield for this. They have like a frenzy almost. They don't really attack so much as just flailing at you. Yeah. Yeah. At medium range they just flail at you. Eventually they calm down enough to be able to fight. That's a grab. That's deep. They are very vulnerable. Make no mistake. The problem is the magic has to hit them right in the face to do real good damage. Yep. Yeah, hitting him in the side isn't good. Goes for the grab. Forget about me. Yeah. You hit him in the back, but you don't shoot him. Here's the worst part. Yep, there he is. What you can also do, though, is break out the bridge. Temporarily. This is a rough enemy. This is just a rough enemy. We just wanted to show them because you're going to be seeing a lot of them. The land octopus. Where is it? Materials. Land octopus ovary. Puffy, white, milky ovary of a land octopus. Material used for crafting. Land octopus eat humans in order to bear young, and theirs is a blood that runs through these ovaries. Yeah, they're not a pleasant sort of creature. It's the reason they target you above all else. But yeah. You're going to find these things all over the place. So be prepared, they are not going to let up on these things. Ruined fragments. Sometimes it's not worth fighting them, sometimes it is. That will be up to you. Like at the moment, with lack of healing, no. Not particularly. However, another thing that you can potentially get meat from is a turtle. I don't know why you want to pick on a turtle, but if you do, you're a monster. It's a turtle. It's just minding its own business. Leave it alone. Oh boy. We ran into something. I think officially they're called demi-humans. They're obviously sentient. Some kind. I need to break some bones that might be more useful in the catacombs. But there's a cave. Cave, oh cave. Well, oh, it's getting dark. So what we should do is add our torch. There we go. Rump up on that. Coastal cave. the site of lost grace. So, another place we can get to. But it's clearly dark, so we'll come back later. I want to explore more of the surface out here. But it is worth noting that, of course, because I did rest, those guys are back. So let's keep exploring the other way, because we might as well follow this coast to the long way. And good thing we did. There's another merchant right here. Hello.
What do you need? I don't want any trouble.
He's nowhere near as friendly, but he has more goods. He has smithing stones, and an armorer's cookbook, which gives us firebone. Alright, so we'll take that. Do we want a broadsword? He sells clubs. Ooh, a short bow. You require 8 strength and 10 dexterity. Excellent. Arrows. And some more notes about land squirts and stone digger trolls. Well, surely the notes can't hurt. Iron round shield. But most of all, those smithing stones look to be worthwhile. So, we'll come back, but we also see these. Boluses. Alleviates poison buildup and cures poison. Alleviates impending blood loss, or buildup of sleep. Alright. And unlike the previous games, this is kind of cool. Poison accumulates gradually, coming into effect once the threshold is reached. Poison ailment lowers HP in steady increments for a period. Blood loss escalates gradually, causing great damage once the threshold is reached. Take one of these in a timely fashion to avoid such an event. They actually describe what the condition does. Sleep accumulates gradually, causing sudden fogginess and loss of FP once the threshold is reached, even if it does not force the afflicted into true slumber. Take one of these in a timely fashion to avoid such an event. So, yeah, something to help inoculate you.
All done? Well,
But yeah, so we'll see that not every merchant is the same person, and not everyone is interested in the same thing. But they're all still merchants, so they'll do business with us. And that may be enough. Ah yes, the fabled jump button, come to think of it. How we longed for it in the past. Dark Souls 3 was especially cruel about that. Making you want a jump button. But yeah. Alright. Oh yay. I didn't even realize there was one of you guys out here. Huh. Slimes. The most primordial collections of sludge. Jagged things stuck in them, and they just kind of stab at you with them. These ones actually bleed. But man, are their defenses picking up that they become troublesome. Yeah. Just let them have it. Yep. Some more ruins. Which is the interesting bit, that Everyone but the one I want to log on to. That's cool. But yeah, no, it's interesting that in place of souls and blood echoes, we have runes here. In my personal theory, because as I'm playing the game, I'm looking over everything again this time, and thinking about how to make a universal theory. Because no, I don't believe the games are actually connected. I believe that's just something amusing for me. Oh, I forgot. I completely forgot all this was over here, you know? Well, that's what happens when you don't play for a long time. You're naturally forgetting. But anyway, so I'm piecing everything together as if I want to build I guess Dark Souls, the Soulsborne overall plot. Right there, those two. Now, unlike every other previous game, you don't need holy water. Just hit them before they regenerate, and your body's good. Took me a while to learn that because that's one of those. Oh, okay, that's how this works. Kind of moments. Old pickled foul foot. But anyway, old pickled foul foot. I'm trying to remember what that does actually. Rune acquisition. Oh, okay. Because 4 feet is a bad sign. Supposed to be lucky, where 3 is supposed to be bad luck because of the 3 fingers. 4-toed foot of a fowl, pickled in golden medicinal solution, boosts the amount of runes obtained from defeating enemies for a certain duration. You would scrape the meat clean even from a fowl's claw. Oh yeah, if you're hungry, you go with whatever you can get your hand on. That's definitely for sure. Let's see. I love all these tumbleweeds around here. It's just funny. Okay. So, suppose we can go check the seaside cave now that we've checked the shore. Just a bunch of land octopuses, 1 angry merchant, and some undead and some slimes. So let's go check their cave. It is nighttime out here. Coastal cave. So rest. You can pass time until morning, noon, nightfall if you want to get a particular time of day or something like that, or some things are temporal. Examine. Summoning pool is now functional, so now if we wanted to summon someone to help, we could. But let's see what we can do on our own first. Plus, I mean, getting help is all well and nice, but end of the day, we have to prove ourselves to be an Elden Lord. Yep. Cave moss. Wow. I can see why there's so many people died down there. Looks like there's an ambush if you fall off. But looks like there's a way around. Yep. Yeah. Just saying. They're nice. It's nice, but simply put, this area is mainly designed to be teaching you to be wary in the dark. Oh, got it. Yeah, call your buddies. Because they're... Luckily, the dark doesn't affect your lock-on, so once you have them locked... Nope, okay, he heard me. So yeah, those guys can get the drop on you if you fall down there by accident or on purpose. Okay. More land octopus ovaries. Ah, here we go. Touch golden summon side. This is more of a canonical one. Not canonical, but like story. Like these are one of the NPCs that are driven by, you know. Anyway. So, we're gonna head into here. Because I believe this is our boss fight. So, time to get into it. Yep, gold. Gold appears behind me. Wait for my buddy Istvan to come in. He'll go after the little guys here in a moment. There we go. And now we see what the fight is at. There. Demonstrating sheep. Shots on the mobiles. Best thing I can do is just pull out every bit of damage. First one's dead. There's a second one somewhere. There it is. This one takes the lead. Pull my shield out, pull the stuns in, and get into the game. Yes, it's not the most polite way, right? It's all about survival here. Heal. What an interesting item to get for just a random boss, isn't it? How odd. Oh, there's a return to entrance. Wait, but the cave keeps going. Well, surely we should keep exploring. We can return back to the entrance at any point, though. We cleared out just about everyone that are behind us, so what could possibly be up here? More path up. demi-humans. He was really manipulated. Smoldering butterflies. Oh. They really suck at using their shields. Oh well. Moss. And oh, that island we saw earlier. We just crossed the water. Right. There's lots of crab here. I suppose if you want crab meat. Which is probably, is it more or less than the land octopuses? If I'm not mistaken, the crabs will attack you. But I don't think there's any items out here. No, doesn't look like it. Okay. There was this whole, what looked like a temple almost up here. Maybe this is something. Another tumbleweed. Wonder where they're all coming from. Thin beast bones and a sliver of meat. So yeah. Getting rid of the goats like this is your best bet for those resources. Because trust me, you will need them. And there's a jellyfish? Just a jellyfish. Okay. It's just kind of floating there, so it ain't doing anything, so I ain't gonna worry about it. Where are we? What is this place called? The Church of Dragon Communion. Oh, okay. Oh, there's a dragon. Okay. If I had a dragon heart, I could get Dragon Fire, Dragon Claw, or Dragon Maw. Channels Dragon Foot to bite, to claws to rend, or fire breath. Ah, but look at those stat requirements. Arcane and Sigma. Yeesh. Those are some rough stat requirements. Well, there is a dragon here. Statues, the place is all broken. The place has obviously been falling apart. Is it from neglect? Or did something hunt this dragon here? It's a good question. Based on the positioning of the body and the rubble being under it, it looks like the dragon was struck down here. So, no, this... So the damage looks incidental to the dragon crashing into this place. Oh. More jellyfish. It's not attacking. In fact, I don't think... It's a jellyfish. I don't think it's capable. Yeah. Either way, we'll just leave it be. What's this? Far to the east, you'll find the Cathedral of Dragon Communion, a place where draconic power gathers. Far to the east. Indeed. Interesting. jellyfish. I don't know what to say regarding it. They're just there. They're just jellyfish. They strike me as the kind of thing that's kind of benign and just happens to be there. Kind of like some of the stuff in Bloodborne, actually, where I very much get the Bloodborne feel of this is just something that exists based on the otherworldly stuff. Yeah. Oop. Okay. But it looks like there's something on the back of this island, if nothing else. I thought I saw a light or two over here. Roll fruits. And there. I thought I saw something glowing. You, what do you do? What do you do? What they are is actually the equivalent of the crystal lizards. They're bugs with big dung balls they've rolled up of all sorts of materials. So attack them and break them open. So let's see. Anything else? I thought I saw another light over here. More smithing stones. Smithing stone 2. So just a larger piece of smithing stone, I imagine. Hi, turtle. Bye, turtle. It's a turtle. It's like, kind of like the jellyfish. It's just there. Why piss it off? I don't know. Herba. Okay, I have Herba. Herba what? Dunno. It just is. Herba who? McIntyre, maybe? I don't know. See if anyone gets that joke. How long have I been going? Wow. 2.5 hours. And that's the beauty of this game, is it never feels like you're honestly spending that much time playing. It just feels natural to explore. Herba what? Herba who? And yeah. I know okay, joking aside, I know the jellyfish can be killed and are technically a neutral enemy. Like, unless you attack them or set something off, you're not going to be bothered by them. I don't know, they don't seem like really the kind of thing you want to bother with. Like, they're not set off by attacking near them, but only if you hit them. So, yeah. Just overall, not really worth it. Oh, one of the Rams. Huh? Yeah. I'm so used to all of them running away. It's always funny when one of the Rams comes up and wants to take a shot at you. Come on, there we go. But yeah, that's about it for this. Alright, so that's about it for the west side. So we'll go back. Do I want to go get the merchants? Anything I want left at that merchant? Do I want the broadsword? No, not particularly. So we'll just head to the church of Ella. Because we did pick up those stones, so it'll give me a good excuse to improve my weapon. Okay. So... let's see. S-Stock +1. Yeah, might as well. Yeah, you need 4, so I'll also improve our glintstone staff. These aren't that uncommon that I honestly feel like I need to reserve them for anything. Improving it just slightly, getting us that little bit of edge moving forward, can definitely feel worthwhile.
Wait, well, you're back.
Let's see, anything else? All right. Wanted to get the Holy Missionary as well. And we'll start with one of the crackpots. These will actually come in handy later, but for now,
Goodbye.
because I don't think I have anything yet. Because a crackpot is required to do to make these jars. But I need mushrooms before I can. Yeah, thrives in damn thickets and everywhere else. What am I missing from these? Golden roa. Oh, okay. The better version. And then crab eggs, found by hunting large crabs. Yeah. So those will come later. Okay, so we checked the west, and that's as far as we can go. But there was also to the east, past our big gold armored friend over here. There was a lake, a swamp. I looked over. Well, let's go take a look at what's there. Because after all, I went west first. I didn't go into the swamp first, but everyone's complaints about, you know, there's always a swamp in the Dark Souls. Well, yeah. You ever notice there's actually a lot of swamps in real life, too? No? Well, then you haven't been paying attention, because swamps are just big pools of stagnant water that just happen to happen. Anyway. Alright. We're going to want the staff out for this. Because those big flying bats are, unsurprisingly, enemies. And they can be a little hard to hit. Wow. That was just a basic cast. I think that was a little too far. Still. Oh. Wow. He got in the way of walking his buddy. Okay, that's funny. I forgot to. Okay, that was funny. Anyway. So, there's lots of carts around here. And more parts of what looks like a destroyed tower. Oh, be aware, these dragonflies are not enemies per se, but they're just pests. They're going to be everywhere. And they even carry a material, giant dragonfly head, you'll need. Periodically. But it's good to just know. But yeah. Be aware. More rune fragments. And there's some people standing there by a bonfire. Yes, because that's always been a good sign in any Souls game, right? Right. Oh, what the hell. I've only got 385 runes on me. Let's go stir the pot. And that's why I said it never ends well for you. I knew this was going to happen. I just had to share that because I love that moment of messing with the player. Oh wow, that's still coming in here. Thought it was far back enough. Okay. By the way, yes, that's as much damage. A heal is pretty weak by comparison to a dragon, so make no mistake. But still holds as he's a dragon. It's kind of fluffy too. Oh, there he goes. When you fall out of range, they reset. So yeah. I had to share that moment of Oh yeah, bonfires have always been a promising thing in the Souls game. Yeah, no, it's the exact same thing. It always is. You're never escaping that. Hey, look, there's a bunch of people gathered around a fire. This can't possibly end poorly for me. Naive fools. It can always end poorly. Can't get any worse. Yes, it can. And these are the Dragon Burnt Ruins. Hey, our first introduction in the puddles. They're big and they're fluffy. And they need a bath. They need a bath in the worst kind of way. This place ain't helping me. Yeah. Oh, doggy. Yeah, you can imagine why this is called the Dragon Burnt Ruins. Note that these guys are unarmed and completely not interested in fighting. Yeah. Hey, mushrooms. Remember, they grow in damp spaces. But yeah. Smoldering butterflies. Yeah, they're really good for making. Too nice. But yeah. Oop, rat. Unsurprisingly, rats are all here. Herba what? Sorry, I can't resist making that stupid joke. It's just like, it's such of a weird way to call them. Where are they? Herbas. Anyway. So, there's a little, in every ruin there's a little downstairs section. Depending on the ruin, it'll be more or less hidden. However, the room here shows what you would need to worry about, which is there are all sorts of fun little enemies. Yeah. So my suggestion is just simply clear enemies. Close quarters like this, there's a lot of enemies that you're going to get thrown against later that make this real painful. And that's one of the signs that you know you're done, is when you get refilled. Is this one of those danger ahead? Ah, trap. Okay, yeah, this is one of those... Okay, I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to... Okay, nope. Okay. That is a trap chest. That will teleport you to a very painful place. All of them do. The dick move is how early in the game they do this to you. This is one of those first places you can end up, and end up somewhere where you haven't the slightest clue where you are, nor how to get back to here. Because what they'll do is they'll trap you in a place you can't teleport back from. And will respawn you there, and basically make people feel like it's a dead game. It's not, it's a pain, but it is just one of those amazing dick moves they've developed. And I have nothing but Yep, there it is. Yep, thin beast bones. But yeah, that's why that one is so simple to get to, is because end of the day, it doesn't mean anything. It's kind of an easy, because it's a dick move, it's a trap, it's a honey trap. It's way too easy to get to, so naturally, it's no, doesn't lead to you to anything good. Alright. What you may not notice is there's 3 of those guys up on this pillar over here. Got them all. Economy and knowing what you're doing can make life so much easier. Oh, yay. Yeah. See out in the distance there? Yep. Dark Souls staple. Dark Souls staple. Giant crabs are in fact back. So don't... Yeah, no, you weren't getting out of them that easily. Oh. Oh, hey. There's a lost grace over here. Well, surely this can't be anything too horrific. And in fact, it's really not. Let's see. A lot of people would just walk off the side not paying attention. This was where we were down below before. Wasn't it? No, in fact it wasn't. This is a different beach. Okay. Well, then there's only one thing to say to that. Take a seat. And then we'll see if we can fall... Oh. Oh.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina.
Yeah, it's definitely the 3-finger that's tattooed.
I offer you an accord. Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve the 2 fingers, offering guidance and aid to the tarnished.
Okay.
But you, I am afraid, are maidenless. I can play the role of maiden, turning runes into strength to aid you in your search for the Elden Ring.
Naturally.
You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree.
Of course.
Then it's settled. Summon me by grace to turn runes into strength. Ah,
Okay.
another matter. I bequeath to you this ring.
Spectral Steed Whistle.
Use it
And there we
to
go.
traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent. Torrent has chosen you.
Well, isn't that nice?
Treat
Of
him with
course.
respect.
Torrent goes a long way to helping this journey, I will say that. And in fact, personally, it's my worst problems are usually when I don't have access to Torrent. Anyway, level up.
Shall I turn your rune? Let my hand rest up. Share them with
Level
me.
up, you can spend runes to increase your attributes. Each
thoughts,
attribute, your level rises by
your
1.
ambitions,
So do the amount of runes
The
required to level.
principles you would
So,
follow.
For the beginning, we only have 1 level. Let's just get a little more health. Alright, class. We can alter garments. We don't have anything we can alter at the moment, so we'll be on our way. Use the spectral steed whistle to summon and ride your spectral steed. If your spectral steed dies, you can summon again, but it will cost 1 flask of crimson tears to do so. Okay. Touch. Yep. So this is basically switch this, put the steed whistle there. So now all I have to do is this, and off we go. He has a double jump. And there you go. We now have access to Torrent. Our steed. Let's see. If I remember, one of the easiest ways to get down here, because this place is a slightly... say, I think it's around here. Yeah. It's still a little rough, but... let's see. Yeah, I believe this over here looks about right. And yeah, I think around here. Okay. Didn't take too much damage. Ah. Normally I make the joke of trying to pretend like this guy isn't going to be an enemy right off the bat, but this guy's kind of rough, so I'm just going to set up the shots. The problem is he's actually capable of dodging these. That, because he knows gravity magic. What we're casting is arcane. Adding skills. With a whetstone knife, you can use the Ashes of War to grant your armament skills at sites of grades. An armament can only have 1 skill, but the skill it have... so basically you can swap skills. Yep. With a whetstone knife, you can use Ashes of War to grant affinities. Yeah. So you can improve your weapons. So Ashes of War we just got from him is the ability, that gravity ability of his. So... yep. So now we did that. Now let's take a look around. There should be... doubt that not the only reason we came here. The only thing here is just a guy standing on the beach. Though it's interesting to note that he's here. Almost like there's... yeah. Also worth noting, his physicality. Seemed like a pretty big guy, but... also note that his back is covered in what looks like some kind of eldritch marks. Like his body was stretched. Maybe it's a side effect of gravity magic? There's more of these pillars broken. Hello. Ah. When you see those blue lines on the entrance to an area, that just means that you can't use torrent there. But guess where we are, folks? Right back at the beginning. We're looped back completely, and we get something very unique: the Holland Drake amulets. Let's see. Yeah. Boosts holy damage negation. Talisman depicting a golden ancient dragon. Boosts holy damage negation. The ancient dragons who ruled the prehistoric area before the Erd Tree would protect their lord as a wall of living rock. And so it is the shape of the dragon has become symbolic of all manner of protections. That's an interesting point. So, just as in Dark Souls 1, dragons are living rock. That is an interesting point. So that has not changed, in fact. And these vents here. Yep. Jump while on horseback near Spirit Spring to ride its current high into the air. You won't take damage from jumping into a Spirit Spring while on horseback, even from great height. So, boing. Basically, they're just free passes to get you shortcuts to get you around. Just so you don't have to worry about fall damage and all that for a little bit. Still, it's a nice little option. But yeah, this is Torrent. We get to ride Torrent a lot. While you can attack while on horseback. Here we can see some knights engaged in a fight with the demi. See, Torrent can take damage. By the way, notice that the demi-humans have red eyes right now. Yes, demi-humans actually get stronger and more dangerous at night. Just be aware of that. They get more aggressive, they do more damage. Yeah. This one's trying to flank me so the other ones can come up and hit me from behind. It's their typical strategy. Yeah, is to evade you with one and then the other Just be aware. Oh, also be aware. If you get the reinforcement, so the refills while you're still down, while you're still at max, it is completely lost. Oop. Lord Sworn's bolts, got some bolts, and we got a brass shield. How much better is that? I don't have the strength to wield it, but it is 100% physical defense. On the larger side for a medium-sized shield, the face has been covered in brass, commonly employed in the shattering. Interesting. Commonly and probably employed since that's simpler than actual gold, and would actually hold up slightly better, because gold is a terrible metal, while still retaining the golden color. Just thoughts. Oh, that looks like a mushroom. So, looks like I've come quite a far ways. Huh. Well, still, might as well pick up the mushroom. Alright. Where are we now? Well, there's even more of the demi-humans here. And mushrooms. Because shells will come in handy. Because remember, we can item craft at almost any point. I have one jar, so I can make a flaming pot, which we can, just to give you an idea of its power, get up close. There we go. 291. Yeah. Let's see. 291. Bam. Nope. Like they said, you can only... Right now, I could only carry one at a time because I only have one cracked pot. But the pot doesn't get used up despite how violent the usage is. So that's the usage of them, that's the limitation I have. I can only have one because that's all I have at the moment. If I buy the other two, I can hold up to 2 at a time. Well, flower. Yeah, there's a flower over there. Yep. Not much you can say about it. It's a flower. Let's see. Looks like there's ways around. No, might as well keep exploring. And it looks like in the distance there's some kind of light. Looks like might as well follow the light. Can we get over there? One has to wonder. Looks like it's across a valley though. Yeah, so far it doesn't look like there's any way over there directly. Well, I'll have to keep exploring. Yep. Like I said before, demi-humans are not wrong. They're not mindless. They are sentient. They use weapons after all. So, getting ambushed is still not unheard of. Especially for items that don't really seem that worth it, but still show up all the same. Alright. But, yeah. Nope, there's no real way across. That gap is far too large for us to cross down here. So, we'll have to find another way. Luckily, our trusty steed will make that a quick path back. You can still... Oh! Rainbow stones. Yeah. But yeah, there's all sorts of goodies and items. Remember, the upside is being on torrent. Enemies can outrun some dangers, or avoid them completely. Looks like Dawn's gonna be here soon. Downside to using this. Oh wow, that's a big damage. Bear in mind, Torrent doesn't take all the damage all the time. If they can still hit you, you can still take damage. But yeah, Torrent does activate something. Not completely, but he does help. Still, try not to be too... And remember to make plenty of raw raisins. after all, Torn is the best boy and deserves to have those raisins. Yep. See, I got so much into my head, you didn't even hear the guy. Alright, Torn. See? Always pay attention and try and do the best you can to go right by you. And here's another vent that pushes us way up in the air. And what are we looking at? Overlooking a bridge. Huh? As well as something else, even above us. Let's see. Oh, yeah. There's a bridge down there. So that would be how we get to the other side. Alright. Nope. Let's... Yeah, no. We've come quite a ways away from where we were supposed to be. Tronish comes golden sunflowers. But that's half the fun of this game, is just wandering around going, okay, can I get from here to here, to here to here, to here to here? Seeing where you can get to. I'll warn you right now, this bridge is actually kind of defended. Yeah, you see soldiers on patrol, there's actually some stuff here to defend it, so. And let's patrol the soldier. Too special. Lord Swords Bolt. Which is, I imagine, slightly better than a regular bolt. Just some guys hanging out, being guys. Just some soldiers out here. Just looking out for things. Not really doing much. Yeah. Foot soldier daggers. Yeah. Foot soldier gauntlets, huh? Yeah. Can't say I'm surprised. But yeah. And what we'll see up here is our first instance of what they would call an Evergone jail. Forlorn Towns. All these are just basically maintenance. Whatever magic creates the Everjail, these are supposed to help maintain it. So, let that be what it will be. Could go after it, but I don't think we really need it. And yep, this was the easier method I mentioned earlier of trying to crack and break skulls. Yeah, just have Torn smash them. saw that the vent jumps us up here. What else is up? There's some soldiers. Starlight shards. Those will come in handy later. Yeah, there's a lot of soldiers up here. Like a lot. With the Royal House Scroll. Now we need to find someone who could teach us how to use that scroll. Because more than likely that's how we get spells. It's based on the association. That's what would be the assumption. We just need a proper teacher. Hopefully they're not as picky as some of the other teachers we've had. Tree of the Beast Circuit. Now it's heavier. You get more poise, and less focus and vitality, but a lot more defense. Armor worn by the soldiers loyal to Godric the Grafted. The circle depicts the distant Erd Tree and the Beast Regent, an emblem of the Golden lineage. Both symbols are of glory now past. But it is still better than what we were wearing, so... As a former prisoner, apparently, we need to try and blend in a little better. Or, at the very least, be more protected. I was gonna say, I remember seeing another caster up here. Get behind him. There we go. Looks like a whole camp. Well, plenty of runes for the taking then. That's one way to look at it. We could just escape, but where's the fun in not challenging ourselves? After all. We are very much... Oh. After all, we finally have the strength to turn runes into strength. Of course, we want to do that as much as possible. Over here. Like I said before, it's all about staying calm in the face of adversity. You couldn't call for help, so that makes my life easier. Oops. And yes, I know I should probably feel bad about taking out the civilians like this, but oh, he saw me. Nice. We're in pretty good shape at the moment. So yeah, just so you know, the horse is a separate target. Now, that does mean you don't have to, but it does mean that you could take them. Yep. Up. There we go. In a pretty good position, so all things considered. Beast liver. Yep. But yeah, as you can see, there are all sorts of methods. And this actually brings us to the other end. This is actually the other side of that river where the dragon is. And we can see in the distance the statue of that top of the little cathedral we started in. So this is one of those noble sorcerers that we had like the ashes of, where they didn't have anything but the most basic and rudimentary tactics. Rolling goats, rolling goats, rolling goats. And yeah, here we see a forest with a castle down to the east, and well, of course, the great Erd tree itself, a tower in the distance, and a great much else. A land we shall come to know inside and out. Okay. And hey, Kareems. Oh. The game audio is too loud. Okay. Sorry I didn't see that. I was... Okay. That should probably be better. And for my voice, no, probably if I pull the game down, it should be fine. Okay. And sorry it took me so long to notice. I had my... I didn't I was so into the game I didn't actually notice. Yep. I'm gonna have to move something to pull the chat up. Give me a sec. Okay. 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 So that should help with chat. Okay. Move. And moving the microphone, so I might be there. That should be better. Anyway. Ay, ay, ay. Alright. So let's see. The Forest Beyond. Yep. More golden runes. These are never really that worth it, but they're just here, so you might as well. And wolves. They're just kind of living their lives, so I don't know. They're one of the enemies I just don't see the point in taking out it, and, you know, fighting them unless you need to. But yeah, we basically just took the long way round to... Oh, another Glintstone Staff. Which is just proof that from the start, we're kind of basic. But yeah, we just got on the other side of the lake that Agil was on. And yeah. Some more ruins. Let's see. Oh, these are the Waypoint ruins. Didn't we have a note regarding these? If we go in our inventory, yes. Someone lurks among the Waypoint ruins on the roads through Limgrave. Someone lurks here, huh? Well, is the hint that we need to be lurking ourselves to find them? A flower. This is actually one of the newest type of enemies, is these flowers. They're big on status effects, in this case, poison. As you might expect, magic is one way to deal with it, since the bigger one can't actually attack you directly. What it can do is area denial with that. They spread their poisonous spores. Okay. And it has the spell to summon rays of light down on you. But if you know magic or have a bow, it can also summon this, which is a nice time to get damage in, but it's and it is still a flower, so obviously fire is one of its biggest weaknesses. There we go. And we get immunizing cured meat, Miranda powder, and a golden rune. But, more importantly, the Waypoint ruin. We were told that there's something important down here. Alright. to say? Don't think we can use. Yeah, Wandering Noble Ashes. If we can, it'll be there. Item crafting. Yeah, might as well. I got enough for it, so why not? Fire pot. Yeah, first thing is just chuck a fire pot and see what we can do. Yeah, I thought it was this thing. I couldn't remember. Yeah, Mad Pumpkinhead. This thing isn't so bad, but it is in close proximity, so it is... Like, when you have room, this guy's not so bad. Can't summon, so we gotta do this the hard way. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, his head is not the point you want to be stabbing, but that's where the lock-on pretty much is. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, your basic problem with this is just you're in close proximity and that head bash is faster than you think it is. Yeah. Just stay calm. It doesn't seem that... It's not that bad of a fight, but it is just rough. But just pay attention to which attack he's going for. If it's his left arm... Yeah. It can do up to a 3-hit combo. Yeah. That's... The staggering... Yeah, it's just staggering that's going to throw you off most of the time. And now you get a choice. And yeah, we'll head to the Stake of Marika. Come back here. And try again. Alright. I don't think I can... I can make. Might as well. I was going to say, I don't think there's anything else I can really do for it. This is pretty much a... Yeah, we just go on in. Yeah, I really wish I could summon the... Yep. Nope, this is just a... Okay. Got my... Okay, so the best thing I can do is just pump it full of spells at this point. Yeah. I just used so much of my MP before getting in here that it's... Because if I can lead him away so the magic does more damage hitting him in the back, we'll be fine. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is just... Yeah. In this case, this fight is just that. Yeah. Just being patient. And there we go. Got him. Perfect. And we even get a point of lost grace for beating him. Like, this person's going to be important. Well, let's see. What's here? Well, hello. I want to learn sorcery. Exiled from the academy as a reviled apostate witch. I still want to learn. Maybe you'll have a technique that they wouldn't have thought of. Of course, every master is like that. Study sorcery, so she has Glintstone Pebble, which is what we already have. No, what we have is the, yeah. So Glintstone Pebble, which is just chuck basic magic. 3 shooting stars, Glintstone stars. Arc, which gives us a wide-ranging magic arc. Strengthen magic sword and shield. Give a scroll. Give the Royal House scroll? Nah, we won't bother with that. We'll just study with what she has now. Let's see. Not a big fan of Crystal Barrage in my memory. Plus, we don't have the int to use it, so better to stick with... That's 45, which is about all we have, so why not? Alright, we've learned to nod in thought as well. But, let's see, the spells we just got. Give to a learned sorcerer to acquire new sorceries. Scroll of the Carian royal family, the heads of the Royal Academy of Raya Lucaria, can be given to a learned sorcerer to gain access to the following: Glintblade Phalanx and Carian Slicer. Well, maybe later. Bach the Demi-Human's prize sewing needle. A large sewing needle curved like a fang. Yeah. But, so there we go. We've now learned a few new sorceries. Well, good thing there's that plant outside we can test them on. So, memorize a spell. We can finally put our second slot to use. Let's do the wave first. Far more immediate. Let's see how that works. Alright. Let's see. Oop. Here we go. Nice. And it hits both, and not bad. Then from there, we can rely on Magic Glintblade to hit harder from there, from a distance. Not bad. Oh, but the poison buildup is starting to get to us. Alright, we'll get out of the range of that spell. But yeah, as you can see, this is a nice combination of abilities. Got it. And more Poison Bloom and Miranda Powder. Not bad. Alright. So, we're looking good there. Alright. Wow. That's a hell of a view. Let's... That looks like something... That looks like a hell of a mountain of crap. So there's the Erd Tree. Interesting. There are certain beams landing in specific places. Were those always there? Like, one looks like it's at that temple. Huh. One heading through the tree over there. Lesser Erd tree. Interesting. One has to wonder where that all leads. Okay. Well, Waypoint Ruins, so I suppose I should reveal the actual map, and that'll be one of the last things we do. Oh. A ghost here. Oh, sapling, sweet sapling of glorious gold, has your crystal teardrop ripened? And he's not looking at the main Erd tree, so this guy was looking at this lesser one. Has your crystal teardrop ripened, huh? And that's a whole convoy of enemies. Well, that new wave magic we had would be useful if we were going to go after that. But I think what we're going to go after first is to go get this. I love this ability of the map to expand. And lets you feel like, okay, this is how far we've come so far. But I think where we're going to head is over here. And actually, we can put a marker on it like they told us earlier in the game. And off we go. So that's our goal. Like I said, we could try and invest in trying to fight all this, but not really needed at this time, at this juncture. I think we'll just leave them be. Let them patrol the roads for now. Instead, basically I took the long way round to get to here. Because if you go straight east from the Church of LA like the symbol wants you to, yeah, the grace would guide you to the here. I've just taken the long way round. Yeah, I just took the long way round and skipped a couple things. Don't worry about it. Besides, we'll be going from there next time. I'm getting hungry, so I'm going to finish up. But I don't want to end without at least showing off how you fill up the map in this game. Which is these statues over here. You just come over here, pick it up. Map of West Limgrave. Okay. Yep, out of MP. So switch to the shield. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this soldier's a bit tougher than the regular. And you see he can do the counter block charge too. Yep. pretty strong. Yep. And yeah, one key thing to do when all else fails in Dark Souls, run! Run. Just get the hell out of Dodge. Let them forget you exist. Okay, no, you're just... Well, here. I hate that you're smart enough to do that. I hate that he's smart enough to dodge. No, the last Grace visited. I'm gonna finish up for now. I forgot how much I love that. Oh, these idiots. I love these idiots so much. Alright. And now that the map has been found, we can now get a more complete picture of where we are, where we've been, yeah, where we've gone to go, yeah. So now we have a better picture. And the map also betrays certain areas that will be important. I'll explain that next time, but for now, just know there's a lot here and there's a lot more to see. Anyway, folks, thank you all for joining me on, because I'm back on my bullshit, so welcome to the Back to the B.O.M B, folks. I'll see you all next time on this, more than likely. Anyway, thank you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now, folks. Bye for now.